everybody. Fucking.
You're not in the best headspace.
You have so much energy right now, Casey.
I'm in a fine
welcome to the Fandom
headspace,
Flux
and
podcast.
my energy is fine. It's just the fucking echo. I swear.
You should probably fix that.
I can't though. This is how I have to record.
Don't you like the sound of your own voice?
I love the sound of my own
Can't you
voice.
just open the volume
Are you
mixer
kidding?
and mute your recording box?
What?
So nice, gotta hear it twice.
Can't you just open the volume mixer and then mute the window that's recording? So you can't hear it through your speakers, but it's still recording?
Not... Okay, I've explained this before. And this is still super inside baseball. We shouldn't be. But the way I'm doing it is I'm just recording my speakers. And to have my microphone recorded as well, I have to have my microphone play back through the speakers separately. So I can't either or.
Okay, well...
Yeah,
No,
so
Fun
Flux podcast.
What episode is this? Quickly tell them.
Wait, couldn't you just you've got the speaker channel, right?
Yeah.
Do your speakers have an adjustable volume knob?
I'm not using speakers, I'm using headphones.
Oh shit.
Also, I'm kind of using them to hear you, so...
Well, yeah, but I was just gonna say you could have turned it off for the intro.
Whatever. So, Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 188. Hi, everybody. I'm here. I'm Casey. How's it going?
Hey, Casey.
I was going to start with Spoken, but he's busy. Zero's here.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? I wish I had an interesting story to tell you, except, well, I kind of do.
Sorry about that. I had a relative asking me what I was doing.
Tell them you're watching porn. Always gets them to stay away.
No.
I was then going to go to Weasel, but Weasel has deafened or muted himself.
Hi.
Hi, Weasel. Kenji.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, and man, this rice and steak bowl is good.
That sounds actually
steak.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's good and healthy.
Yeah, I'll have chicken curry later. Anyway, Spoken's here.
Hey.
Spoken.
Enthusiasm.
Boy, so energetic this morning.
Calm down, man. Gosh.
Everyone is.
Slow.
So, I'm going to start because I have things to talk about this week because I watched some movies this week. Catching up on that whole culture thing that people are all about these days.
Adult movies?
Well, some of those, but also... I'm a 28-year-old man. I'm perfectly secure in the fact that I watch porn sometimes.
Tell them you're watching porn and they'll always stay away, even if it's true or a
lie. Kingsman. That film.
The first one?
Yep. It's a good film.
Yeah, it was. I like that film.
Yeah. Was good. I don't really have that much to say about it, other than it's a good film, and I don't know, it dealt with the whole working class culture thing better than most films that try it.
That's not a very high bar to set.
It's not, but it's one they got over, so good for them. Yeah, so that's a good film. Looking forward to the next one. Might go see it with my sister at the pictures. That's next month, I think.
I don't know. I haven't been in the movies or seen a trailer in like 2 months, so I don't know.
Golden Circle, I think it's called. But, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, looking forward to that. Also, I finally watched Hot Fuzz.
And
Not a fan.
Hot Fuzz is a hot mess.
Yeah, it's a little not great. Like, I loved Shaun of the Dead. Like, there is a reason everyone loves Shaun of the Dead. The thing is, everyone also seems to love Hot Fuzz, and I'm not quite seeing that.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of people who said that they loved Epic Movie, but it was Epic Movie.
Who said that? I've never heard anyone ever say that in the history of ever.
A bunch of my classmates immediately after it came out, and presumably at least the creators of Epic Movie.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, it's not a guarantee at all. Like, I heard somewhere that apparently the what's their names? The guys who made the Matrix films fucking hate them now.
Well, the Wachowskis hate everything they made.
yeah, they kind of like Serpent Guy that way. References.
You hate everything you make. Nobody can ever insult you.
I miss Guy.
Yeah, he's cool. An incredible downer, but kind of cool.
He's off blowing something else. Do
you want to finish that phrase there, buddy?
Sorry, he's off blowing up something somewhere else.
Yeah.
Sorry. I tripped over my own words and it became a joke. Comedy, people. Comedy.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go with that.
But yeah, Hot Fuzz, not a fan. Like, I think my main problem with it is let's make fun of people that live in the West Country / the north of England. Wow, look at how crazy these people are in these small villages and the greater good and yarp and incest jokes and such.
Welcome to depictions of my part of the country.
Yeah.
Except based on what I know of the West Country compared to the South, there's a bit more accuracy when you're talking about the South.
I wouldn't know, but yeah, it did not come across well. It came across like a lot of wanking over how great London is, despite the film only being set there for about 5 minutes. So, yeah. I wish I liked it more, but, you know. Oh well. There's still the last one of those films that I haven't seen. I should probably check out at some point. But I can never remember what it's called.
What's it about?
I think it was like a dude's turning 30, I want to say, or is it 40? It's a milestone birthday, and he wants to do a pub crawl.
Oh, don't watch that. It's not good.
Oh, I saw that.
I think there's an alien invasion or something.
That's not, end of the world. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, it's
No.
to describe it. It's kind of it's you could turn your brain off and get some amount of enjoyment out of it, but you can spend your time better.
That's disappointing. Oh well.
Yeah, dodge that bullet.
So, other than mediocre movies, how's your week been?
I watched a good movie. What are you talking about? Kingsman was great.
Okay, sorry. Other than one good movie and at least one mediocre movie.
Dealing with some faff from the job center. Just kind of, hey, we need to review your claim. Has anything changed? Okay, send us the letter back. Hey, 2 weeks after you sent the letter back, we didn't get it, so you now have a week to meet the deadline. Good luck.
It's always fun.
Happy Valentine's Day on this 24th of February. Love, Royal Mail.
Nice one. That's actually good job. Yeah, so that's some faff that I've been dealing with. It's not been great. Other than that, playing Borderlands obsessively. We did a stream. It went pretty well. We're probably going to do more of those. It's the most popular we've had from streaming ever.
Oh, on that topic, actually, in addition to Weasel, I've got a friend. His name's Loyal Hound. He's the guy that I normally do multiplayer with, and he said he might be interested in getting in on that.
We'll give it a try.
Me and Slicer were there, kind of narrating and giving colored commentary while they were focusing on playing.
You were giving color commentary about 6 seconds behind.
Yeah. But we had full discussions about Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it's like someone has to man the chat is the idea, which is usually Slicer's job.
And me and Slicer can bounce off each other very well while we're doing that.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're probably going to be doing another one of those this week, and Weasel will be joining us if available, as well as Spoken's other friend, Hound. Was Hound, right? Loyal. Was that right? Or was it Loyal Lloyd?
Loyal Hound. It usually gets shortened to Loyal.
Okay. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, so that should be fun. Because that was a lot of fun last time. I kept playing, naturally, after that. And finally did the D&D DLC for it.
God, yes.
Which... that's special.
It combines actually a pretty good D&D campaign if you ignore the amateurish DM with I don't want to say it's heart-wrenching, but it's definitely got some feels to it.
Yeah, it's got some emotional impact, some good pathos there. Also, interesting thing it does with the loot system, which, you know, Borderlands is like 90% about the loot system. I really like the dice system that it has in there in the chests.
So, fun thing with the dice, if you're lucky enough to roll 2 20s on those dice, you get an orange.
Yeah. Granted, that's like a 1 in 400 chance or something.
Which is still a pretty damn good chance for getting an orange weapon as compared to any random mook in the game.
I got like 3 legendary grenades. I don't know what you're talking about. While I was doing that DLC, yeah. So, yeah. But that's a really nice way of doing the loot system, as having it a little bit, not completely, but a little bit more visible how it works. I frankly think they should probably incorporate it into the main game in future.
Well, you remember that article that you linked before you started playing again about how it's basically a Skinner's box?
Yep.
Yeah, it kind of defeats the point of that, to have the numbers be visible on screen.
Actually, not really. Like, that's part of the gambling and such things, like how slot machines work. You have the anticipation and a bit of a... like, you pay whatever it costs to roll the dice. So it's like 5 iridium for the 2 dice. And then the brief gap between paying that and the outcome is like a window of time where your brain will subconsciously slightly forget paying it.
Right.
Which softens the blow quite a bit. It's really sinister when you actually think about it in real terms, but yeah.
Just don't think about
That
anything
said,
too
it's
deeply.
not real money, and it's possible to just cheat yourself more iridium.
Look, this is a man that knows about gambling.
Yeah. A little bit.
Benton Casey.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like, it helps to know how all this stuff works to not want to do anything with it. So
There, what actually really surprised me about that stream when we did it was that it only took, like an hour 45 minutes to get through the entire Hammerlock DLC?
yeah, but we didn't do any side quests. We were basically over leveled for it. Like, not massively, but still, it was
We were
there.
7 levels over right there. And 3 levels in this game with the right equipment is the difference between being slaughtered by every mook you come across and being able to slaughter your way through them.
I wasn't seven levels. I think it was 4 because I was 39 at the time, and the DLC is 35 at base. So, yeah, I was a little over leveled, but no more over leveled than I usually am for the game's content. To be perfectly honest.
Go into everything over leveled.
Yeah. So, yeah, just a bit over leveled and just mainlining the main missions, basically doing none of the side quests. Yeah.
That black tar
was
Borderlands.
Still a surprisingly short amount of time. I mean, like, Tiny Tina's takes like 5 or 6 hours bare minimum.
Yeah, probably. A lot of those areas are friggin' mazes, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the what's it? The dungeon level Lair of Infinite Agony. I think.
Yup.
Oh god, I actually caved and got myself a cheat table when I was trying to complete one of the quests there because I could not figure out how to get to where I needed to go, and I just picked up a cheat table and I turned on flight and ghost mode and I just pointed myself towards the objective marker and walked through the walls.
Basically, the lesson here, kids, is when in doubt, cheat. Cheat all the time.
Or cheat when you're not in doubt, just to keep in practice, like I do.
Yeah.
Or cheat when you spent 45 minutes walking in circles and you're about to snap your controller in frustration.
Yeah.
If you always cheat, no one can accuse you of playing fair.
The worst part, I think, of doing that was that one quest where the guy wants you to resurrect a bunch of corpses to check whether one of them's his brother.
Yeah.
And you have to do that in 3 areas around the map. And you do the 3rd one, and he's like, oh, wait, I was sitting on my brother's corpse this whole time. Ah, silly me. Come on back. And it's the come on back part that really fucked me. Because I went back to where you start that mission. He's not there. He's exactly where the last one was.
Yeah, from where you get that message, he's in the next room.
Yeah, he is. I didn't know that.
Which, okay, that actually gets into a thing that I've been getting on Weasel about. Always keep an eye on the minimap. Always keep an eye on the minimap.
That's
It doesn't
the thing
matter.
about the mini-map on that level, though. There's 3 floors of it, so he could be in the next room on the map. But that doesn't account for up and down.
So you didn't notice the diamond on the edge of your vision that was pointing directly horizontal to where you were?
I noticed it, but in fairness, the place you start that quest is also in the next room. Well, from the map, locationally.
Yeah, and a level down.
Yeah. So, that was a nice fun lap around that little map that I had to do there to finish.
I think probably the most annoying aspect of that map, other than just the sheer circularity of it all, is the gateway rooms. There's 2 rooms, one of them that you set off yourself, where you cannot proceed until you have killed every single enemy.
I hate those. I hate them so much.
Could be worse, at least there's only one crushing floor room.
See, this is fresh trauma. I did this like 3 hours ago. It was not... I hate that crushing floor room. I hate it so much.
Yep, and if you're trying to get back there because you didn't do the necklace quest the first time through, and you got to get back to the Hall of the Dead, congratulations. That floor stays the way it is.
Fairness, there's no point in doing the necklace quest. There's literally no point.
My normal mode playthrough for the Salvador that I used during the stream, I was trying to complete every non-race quest in the game.
Why?
Because I'm sick to death of having a cluttered mission log, and it's what got me up to level 41.
Yeah. Like, for most of my playthrough of the game this time, I was like, okay, this is the time when I'm going to completely fill the badass challenges. Every single one. That didn't last very long.
That lasted as long as it took you to realize that you would have to get an online guide for the Cult of the Vault Symbols, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the wiki for it, but I was like, okay, I just did the Bloodshot Stronghold one, but I can't be bothered doing the ramparts at the same time just going through the area, so I'll just come back to them and do them all later. And then there was a lot of them that I would have to come back and do later.
Yeah, no, it's what my dad calls the eating the elephant with a spoon problem.
That's a fun phrase.
If you start at the trunk, it's a manageable problem. But if you try starting at the stomach, then there's just so much, and you're just not going to even want to bother starting that, because holy shit, that's an elephant.
Fair enough. Okay. I don't really know what else to say that.
I'm pretty sure it'd be done by the time I got to the head of the elephant, if I had to start at the trunk.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking about this literally? Forget it.
I don't know. I feel like the ears would go easy because they're big, but they're very flat, so they're pretty quick.
They're basically really sausagey lettuce leaves.
Yeah, so you could eat that and feel like, wow, I just ate a lot of this elephant. I guess it'll be easier than I thought it was, and you'd be like encouraged to keep going.
Which I guess, for sake of comparison, that would be the Headhunter DLCs.
I think those are the raid boss ones, right?
Yeah. Those are the ones that have the raid bosses and one other mission apiece. And the Thanksgiving one is the worst DLC ever.
Yeah, those are the ones that I literally haven't even gone into the area for and just started the New Game Plus. So I started that today as well. So that's the thing.
The raid boss DLCs have some at least vaguely amusing storylines, and the Thanksgiving one has the bonus of your mission giver is Torg. So
Torg.
So you get 45 minutes of Mr. Torg. Yeah. The reason I still call it, despite Torg's presence as the main voice in that section, the worst DLC for the entire series is because of the post-raid boss mission. The post-raid boss mission for the Ravenous Wattle Gobbler Headhunter pack is to listen to Mr. Torg's grandmother natter on about whatever crosses her mind for 5 minutes straight. And you have to pay attention to it, because at one point she asks you a question about what she's been talking about, and if you get it wrong, you fail the mission.
That's a dick move.
Yep. And then there's another one, which is raid boss difficulty. It's 15 minutes long. You have to actually listen, because you have 30 seconds to answer a question that she asks you at one point, and you have to answer yes to the question no matter how crap the play that she was reading out for you beforehand actually was. And if you don't answer yes, or if you don't answer in time because you were AFK, letting one of your friends, or letting the multiplayer non-pause menu take care of it, you fail the mission again. Your reward for this: $1 and a crap rocket launcher.
And this, my friend, is what we call a troll.
Worst DLC ever.
That is a pretty strong contender.
Oh, also, other thing that annoyed me about the D&D stuff was the fake gamer quest.
The guy gamer thing where they quiz Torg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That wasn't very subtle.
it wasn't subtle, and it didn't really work because that is like, if it was supposed to be a thing against people giving girl gamers, air quotes, shit about, infringing on the hobby. Like, big buff guys do get shit for trying to, do nerdy things. That is a thing that happens, so it's not a good, satire.
I would say that actually does make it a good satire.
Does it?
Yeah, because that is a thing that actually happens. That's a thing that I've actually had to deal with.
Yeah, but, I mean, it feels like an anvil that needed to be dropped a few years ago, which it was. It came out a few years ago.
Well,
It doesn't age well for that reason. It just makes one of the characters look like a dick.
well, that's also another purpose of it. To get across, if you're doing this, you're an asshole.
Yeah, but like I say, the anvil was dropped, and it's, that kind of thing is not completely, but mostly falling to the wayside. So now all that's left of that particular quest line is a little bit of character assassination.
The whole falling by the wayside thing, I'm just going to point out that DLC came out in early 2013. August 2014 was the beginning of the Gamergate controversy, a year and a half later.
Yeah, and the controversy happened, and the
it's still
issue
going
got
on.
brought up very, very visibly. So,
And it's still going on. Like, Gamergate
to an
is still
extent, but it's calmed down a hell of a lot, and
not getting
compared
as
to
much-
back then, there is a lot less of a lot less of this shit going on than there used to be.
I'd say it's not getting as much attention as it used to, but it's not really declined that much.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, so we should probably stop talking about Borderlands again, because that's,
Yay.
Yay.
you're welcome.
Anyway, who's next?
Yeah. I mean, I've done everything now, so I will no longer have anything new to say about it. So, you're free. Congratulations. Zero, you probably have things to talk about.
So I bought a book recently that I'm starting to get into. It's called On a Pale Horse by Piers Anthony. It was published in 1983. And I heard about this because the main premise of this is that this is part of a series of 8 books where each one kind of personifies a concept and makes that kind of just a job that people cycle in and out of. And the first book is Death. And the premise is this guy who's about to commit suicide ends up killing Death instead and has to take on his job.
What?
And it's
How do you manage to kill Death?
because it's treated as just a job that people cycle through.
So it's the Santa Claus Death Edition.
Kind of. But before the Santa Claus came out, I think.
Yeah, the Santa
And-
Claus was a late '90s movie. Early
Yeah,
Mm.
this was 83. So, there's other books in the series, ones with like, time and Mother Nature, and I assume they all have different sort of ways they go about it. But I'm really liking the setting it goes, because magic and science exist at the same time and that kind of thing. And they're competing, and it's a kind of weird world that the guy's creating that I'm interested in seeing more of. Aside from that, I've been writing. I released my first two chapters for my new story.
Woo.
It's a Ruby story. It's called Lie. Was it Lie, Steal, Cheat, and Survive? Was what I called it.
I don't know.
Hang on.
Yeah, or Lie, Cheat, Steal, and Survive. I get those two mixed up all the time. Don't
Lie, cheat, steal, and survive. Yeah.
Yeah, Lie, Cheat, Steal, and Survive. And so I am kind of optimistic about this, because people have been giving it pretty good feedback. I'm having more and more ideas for it. Lots of fun things and turns and twists. I finally found names for the teams that will make sense. It took some finagling, but I got 3 Ruby name teams that make actual sense and look like they would be words. So I was happy with that.
Not gonna lie, that's half the battle when it comes
Yeah,
to
no.
writing a Ruby fic. That's such a pain in the ass.
I did it 3 times too. I was impressed with myself. I had to use some last names.
Yeah,
I
there's
got it.
precedent for that.
Yeah, so I got it, and I was happy with that. And I'm going to continue to work on that, and as well as work a bit on my main story. But right now, I'm really excited about this current story I'm writing. So that's probably going to be updated a bit for at least a while until I hit a roadblock. But I've been working on outlining different things, just to kind of briefly explain what my story's about. I don't mean to just kind of talk about my work a whole bunch, but it's kind of important because it was kind of my week and last couple of months.
Just go.
It was basically Roman Torchwick from Ruby ends up getting a semblance that allows him to see his own death. And so it's about him trying to avoid his own death and all the multiple deaths that he sees every time he goes to sleep in order to survive. And so there's a kind of a mystery element to it that I've been enjoying. Aside from that, I was feeling like I needed to play Paper Mario, so I got a Dolphin emulator set up, and I got Paper Mario set up, and I was like, oh man, 1,000-Year Door, here we go. And I got HD textures downloaded and modded into it, and it looks so good, and boy, this is great. And then it crashed.
What are you talking about? Sorry, I missed that.
I got Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door emulated on Dolphin with HD textures, and it crashed.
Spare me Dolphin's problems. One day
It
that will be a
has
stable
a-
platform.
Zero. I can fully sympathize because I did the exact same thing.
One day, I'm sure, Dolphin will be a stable platform.
I got it so that it didn't really stutter as much, barely at all, because I have a pretty good laptop, but the main problem I think is probably with the texture pack, because it's not 100% complete, and I think it didn't have the textures for the area I was going into or something. So that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, maybe one day Nintendo will just create a platform where you can play all of their old games and not have some bullshit rigmarole that you have to go through to play them.
We'll see.
There
if
was
they
the
did that,
there was
then
the virtual console, but and they are doing a thing with their internet plan where they're going to have a library of old games for subscribers to it, and you just get access to all the games in that library for free. Well, not for free, but like with the $20 you pay for the yearly internet thing.
Here's the thing. This is the third time they've done the virtual console thing and sold people the same games.
And see, the thing is, if they actually did that, then they couldn't resell you Grassland, Desert Forest, Jungle, Ice World, Fire World, Boss with an HD remake every 5 years. If they let you play every game they've ever released for their consoles, or even most of them, then you'd be able to immediately see, oh, there's been no real innovation in the Mario games except for Paper Mario for the last... How long have the 3D ones been out?
I would disagree with that statement, actually. But
I would too, surprisingly enough. Like, with the fact that they re-released the games anyway, the old games, and again, like you say, they are quite similar largely. I'm going to admit there are some changes, but largely they are very, very similar. No one seems to care, so...
Like, Galaxy and 3D World were pretty different. And the new one that they're coming out with, Odyssey, seems to be really different as well, and with some very unique worlds it's carrying with it. But, you know, who am I?
Kirby a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it's not like they're... Anyways, I don't want to get into a discussion about Nintendo. I was just saying that I was trying to get Paper Mario, and it's probably have to go run old textures on it, which is kind of a sucky thing to do. And I really hope they add GameCube to any sort of virtual console type program at some point.
That'd be nice, because no one is ever going to pull out their GameCube again.
Yeah, GameCube, Nintendo 6, like they had like N64 titles. But,
Do you think they're ever going to do a mini GameCube?
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried they're just going to make mini versions of old consoles and sell things that way, and that's going to piss me off, because you can't get those. It's going to
piss everyone off.
It's going to piss Zero off because he's going to buy it.
Yeah,
it's going to piss me off because I can't buy it. That's why it's going to piss
everyone off.
It's going to piss me off because I can't buy it. That's why. Because those things, like, get powered to hell.
That, too, like Nintendo or a scalper's dream.
Yeah, and like they're taking steps to kind of reduce the amount of scalpers on the SNES Classic, but it's not going to do much. They're still going to be scalped to hell, and you're not going to get any. They're trying to increase production, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get my hands on one. I don't even think it's worth trying at this point.
Is Chrono Trigger on the mini SNES?
I don't know. Actually, let me bring it up. We can. This will be a fun little segment. Let's look at SNES Classic games.
Sure, it'll be fun. That's the word for it.
Let's see whether it's actually worthwhile to get.
Yeah, there were some good ones on there. I think. So, it was Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound.
I still have my Super Nintendo.
I noticed you didn't say Chrono Trigger when you went from C to D to E.
Yeah, there's no Chrono Trigger, it looks like. But they have F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Mega Man X.
I noticed you didn't say Final Fantasy 2 and 3 when you skipped...
Final Fantasy 3.
Ah, okay.
Not 2, though. Secret of Mana, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Extreme Course, F-Zero, Star Fox 2, which was never released on any system before. That's kind of the main thing with this is, oh, hey, we have this unreleased game that is now completed and you can play. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. A game that was slated for
release on the SNES that they just completed.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting was what I was just saying. Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Yoshi's Island.
So there's some good titles in there. Quite a few that, I'm sure people would want. And
there's some good ones in there.
I already have half of those in the next room.
Yeah, that's also a problem.
That's a bit of a problem too, yeah.
There's 1,001 different ways to get all of those games in a much more convenient package that you won't have to spend $600 on from a scalper on eBay.
And some of those ways are even legit.
The only reason I would want to get this and I will say I'm not going to be buying this, but the only reason I would get this was curiosity to see if they did anything to Star Fox 2, but that could be easily sated by YouTube. So there's no real reason for me to necessarily buy this. And Chrono Trigger, I don't think they included because either Square didn't want them to, or the DS remake still exists.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, is that even still on sale, realistically?
I don't know. 3DS
Oh, no.
can play DS games still.
Oh
so.
no, if we put Chrono Trigger on the mini SNES, we won't get the 3 extra sales from people buying it on DSiWare.
Most people... I even was talking to a friend, another combo, and they're a fan of Nintendo. Like, yeah, I'm just going to emulate Chrono Trigger for DS. Yeah, I don't know. It's baffling to me, but people really like these things, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope they don't do we're just gonna make minis of every single console, instead of putting those games
The
in that
mini
free
Wii
internet
would be
thing.
interesting. What would they put on the mini Wii?
Nothing.
Wii Sports.
You know, I still remember when Wii Sports was still listed as the highest selling video game of that console generation.
Yeah, it helps when it's packed in.
Yeah.
It also helps when it's idiot proof so your grandma can do it to work out.
Yeah.
Work out, I say, as in they're just standing in place and swinging controller.
Yeah.
That's not a workout.
It's a movement.
It's not a workout. It's not exercise.
It is not.
That's what Wii Fit is for. We get your
Yeah.
special Wii balance board to go along with it.
Yeah, so you're standing in place on a thing. That's way more
You have to do the
exercise.
balancing. I've actually heard really good things about Wii Fit for actually being good for health, but it's
Yeah.
still ridiculous.
Yeah, my mom used to use it. Yeah, it's supposedly actually decent, but...
There was a weird sort of
A weird...
yeah,
I'm sitting in the
health
corner
vibe
thinking
they're
about
going
that
for, and they were going
I
for
am
at that
thinking
time.
about that pun. That was a great pun.
There was like there's a whole thing where they're going to have like this, like, put this on your finger now as this extension from our game to check your pulse, and I'm like, why? You're forgetting what this is. This is a game console. And
I think what they were trying to do with the Wii is they were trying to turn their users into peripherals.
they were trying to they captured a big casual audience, and they were trying to keep it, and then they lost it.
You remember
Because-
Wii Music?
Oh my god! I gave my
I didn't
parents.
until just now.
Do you remember the press conference where they got a professional drummer
no.
to air drum using the Wii remotes? As someone that
So
like regularly does air drumming, that looked so silly.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you
You know.
for reminding me of that train wreck's existence.
That was so good.
That was so painful.
Uh,
I hate you.
sometimes the press conferences at E3 are just awesome. They're just
Yeah.
like
Remember when?
top quality entertainment.
I remember at the Ubisoft press conference when Shigeru Miyamoto came out with a gun. Oh.
Anyway, so what else have people been doing this week?
Oh, I wasn't done.
Yeah.
I read a few chapters of that Man of Iron story that was recommended the other week.
Oh yeah.
Man of
It's
Iron?
kind of I don't know how to really describe it because it's kind of weirdly like I need to be in the right mood for it. If that makes sense.
What fandom is this story for?
It's Game of Thrones and Iron Man.
Oh, never
So,
mind.
I
thinking-
need like I kind of need to be in that weird sort of yes, screw it, Iron Man's there kind of mood to just I guess
How
read
many
this.
Stark puns are there? I'm curious.
None. He's a Stark.
Yeah, he's played completely like as if he was part of the world,
Huh.
and that's I don't know. There's that weird sort of crossoverness that I'm still trying to get used to, because it's like, oh hey, look, it's Happy Hogan. Happy's there, so is Pepper Potts, kind of, but she's yeah. I don't know exactly how to. I'll keep reading it. It's good. It's well written, but it's just a bit of crossover weirdness for me.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Also was so the other day at my work, I went in the morning and I started cooking and everything, except the hoods, which we use above the cookers to pull up all the smoke and steam, weren't working. And they weren't working until about 10 minutes before I left work. So
That sounds
I
disgusting.
spent an entire shift in a literal smokehouse. Just a box of smoke, and my eyes and throat burned, and it was the worst kind of torture.
You haven't been tortured very much, have you?
Dude, it was not fun.
I don't know, being largely unable to breathe properly is a little bit of a torture.
Yeah, not to mention that when I would go into the walk-in for chicken, I'd inhale cold air, and then when I come out, it would be warm air, and then I would start to feel lightheaded and like sick. Not to mention we had to open all the doors and windows we could so that there would be some way for the smoke to get out, and that meant that we had no AC. And it's been pretty hot over here in California. So that plus the kitchen heat was just awful. I got home and my parents were like, "Hey, you want to go to your brother's first football game?" I'm like, "I don't want to go outside anymore or in the heat. I'm going to stay here." And yeah, I just want to say, if your boss doesn't have the hoods working, if you walk into your work and it's gonna be like that, walk out. That's unfair work conditions. We shouldn't have opened. It was bad. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Other than just like sorting some stuff out for school, I've not really been doing much. Yeah.
Cool.
Move on.
So,
Oh, I remember something else, Zero. We finished recording Konosuba.
Oh yeah,
That's done.
we finished
so.
recording Konosuba.
Yay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's a kind of situation where I feel like if we're going to be going as in depth as we did, I would have probably picked a different series.
Yeah, that show did not stand up to scrutiny very well.
You hold a microphone to a microscope. You hold a microscope to a comedy like that, and you can start to see the seams, and it's yeah. I should have picked a better option, but that was the one I knew the most, so I wanted to pick a sort of equivalent to your first pick of Ruby, I guess, and that I knew it probably the most of a lot of the series. But that's not. I wouldn't say that's true anymore. There are a lot of series I know better that I would probably want to do next.
Yeah. I mean, it's a learning experience. We're just kind of figuring out what we're doing. We only just started, so.
Yeah. When's the final episode for that come out?
It's 7 today, so it'll be next Friday. Will be the last one.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then after that, we can freely talk about what we're going to be doing next.
Yep.
Cool.
Who's next?
Weasel.
I have nothing new this week. Borderlands with Tater, RPs on Gaia, neither of which is really worth talking about. Oh, I did, however, not until the final boss fight of Borderlands 2, figure out you could press the right mouse button to look down the scope.
And once Weasel figured that out, I was in game with Weasel when that was figured out, the
Wait,
enemy
what?
started dropping about twice as fast. Weasel didn't know about iron sights. She was firing from the hip the entire game.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I am
And when-
Scrub Lord.
In a sense, that's kind of impressive. In a sense.
It's wiped clean. The slate is wiped clean by the fact that this was not known until the game.
I mean, still,
It's like-
it's Borderlands.
It's like, have you seen Rocky 2? Has anyone ever seen that movie where, like, for the entire training, Mick tries to get Rocky to train Southpaw, to train with his other hand as the dominant hand instead of using his right hand?
Yeah.
This is like that, I guess.
And like Weasel actually managed to be a actually competent siren despite firing from the hip for the entire game.
Yeah, like I say, it's Borderlands. If you're not hitting something, get closer. You'll hit it.
Or if you're not hitting something, just hold the mouse button down. You'll hit it.
Also true.
I am best medic build siren.
Yes, you are developing into best medic build siren.
That's gonna be useful. I die a lot.
God, yes.
Well, I've got res.
Okay, you didn't need to confirm it that rapidly, but okay.
Well, I've got res.
To be fair, you still don't die as much as Loyal does. Loyal is a sniper build 0 who does not use his action skill. He's got as much health and more shields than I do, and I'm a Salvador who quick scopes and bunny hops everywhere. I die maybe one time for every 5 he bites it.
I gotta work out.
Anything else, Weasel?
Nothing new.
You're on Daily D now. Have you taken it yet today, by the way?
Not yet.
I thought you were going to be taking that at 1 p.m.
I forget because I'm not used to being on Daily D.
Weasel, go take the D.
Okay.
I'm good.
Weasel's got a vitamin D shortage. She's on daily supplements. Anyway, anyone else, or is it my turn now?
I mean, I exist. I'm not sure what
Yeah,
you would
Kenshi
care,
kind
but-
of is here. Hi, Kenshi.
Hi. To be fair, I got like 4 hours of sleep last night.
I know the feeling. It's pretty much the feeling I have every time we record, except today. That's nice.
Oh, you mean the feeling that I run off every? Sure. All right.
Okay.
So keep this one short because nobody cares.
I
Did some
care.
No, you don't.
Care?
Who?
I can
You won't.
pretend to care.
I'd rather you just didn't care.
You my boy.
It helped me get
Okay.
through it quicker. All right. So my weekend. Did some wrestling stuff on Saturday. Did not expect to. I went to the show to go with my friend who was champion for this promotion. And they wound up having someone that didn't make it down their tag team match. And I was like, I got my stuff. I can jump in. So I did. And it was great. And now they're booking me because apparently I'm actually fucking good at what I do. Go figure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
You're good at staged fights.
yes,
To
Weasel.
be fair, even if it is staged, and sometimes, actually a lot of the time, the outcome is to a degree predetermined, it still takes skill.
Yeah.
It takes
like,
a lot of skill and training. Like, you can't do the moves that they do unless you're...
has anyone seen, like, probably Kenshi has absolutely seen, but, like, back in the old days of wrestling in, like, the 90s when it was Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, and how The Rock would incredibly oversell the Stone Cold Stunner and do backflips and shit from it? It's awesome.
Like, just because it's staged fights doesn't mean it doesn't take skill, and it doesn't mean it can't be absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a fan of wrestling, but I've got to say, it's impressive, some of the feats of acrobatics and other things and stuff they do.
It's a live action stunt show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you get some of the really crap wrestlers on, in which case it's one half live action stunt show, and the other half, this is so much ham it could be an entire pork farm.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes that's fun too.
I'll be the first to admit there's good ham. I mean, like, Krieg is a thing in Borderlands 2. Good ham is a thing.
I'm hungry.
But then there's bad ham.
No, there isn't. There is no bad ham.
Yeah, there is bad ham. Both realistic.
Let me tell you something, brother. There is bad ham.
Thanks, Hulk. Thanks, Hulk.
That's the thing. That's still good in a sense because it's hilarious.
It's good in the sense that he went so all in on it that you had to take it a bit seriously.
Speaking of large ham, isn't Mr. Torg's first name Mr.?
Yeah.
No. His first name is Mr. Torg.
Oh yeah, so it is.
Okay.
His last name is Flexington.
Flexington.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
And his middle name is High Five.
Oh God, I
Mr.
love
Torg
Torg.
High Five Flexington.
No, I'm sorry. I mispronounced his last name. His last name is Flexington.
Okay,
Ow.
blowing out your levels there, bud. But you know, I understand.
It's not Torg unless the subtitles need to render me in all caps.
Have you ever tried to watch the show with the captions on? It is an experience.
What,
I'm
this
going
show?
to do this once this episode is uploaded.
Yeah, auto captions are fun sometimes.
Okay, so in addition to Saturday Night Escapades, I'm a trainer name.
You're officially a trainer.
I am a trainer that is not officially recognized in camp because I do everything training-wise. I just don't get trainer perks.
And pay, one assumes.
Yeah. But it's almost fine. I would like to be a trainer. I won't be until at least next year, which pisses me off a bit. But I need to make the trainees less laughably pathetic so that I can actually work with them.
Well, that's one good motivation.
Like, it's so bad. Okay, so say I kick you in the stomach and you're supposed to double over, and then I hit you in the back. How many times do I have to hit you in the back before? Maybe I should go.
Once, probably. Like, it's supposed to seem like it really works, so I would say once.
Yeah, I'll give you like 3 times if you're bigger than me, which a lot of people aren't. This guy was like my size. I hit him in the back like 8 times, telling him, "Dude, go down," because he was selling that I was hitting him, but he was so brand new that he just didn't get it. I need to make them better. Like,
Yeah. Like, I guess you have to keep in mind how it looks. Like, if you just keep hitting him over and over and over and he's not going it down, it stops being wrestling and starts being a sort of weird BDSM show.
Just if he says more, that's when you stop.
I don't hear you counting them.
Someone needs to do that. That needs to be someone's gimmick. I need to bring that up. Someone.
I guarantee you that's going to happen at some point.
I'm sure it already has. I just haven't seen it yet.
Would that wrestler be a face or a heel, though?
It depends on the presentation.
And who he's going up against.
That too. Well, they'll put him against who he's supposed to be against, depending on what he is. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get away from BDSM, man. I haven't
What would his
updated
ring
anything.
name be? It'd have to be something like Tom the Dom or something. I think Kenji's getting uncomfortable.
No, I'm thinking.
Dom. His
Just call
victory shout. No, when you are beaten.
Just call him Seme.
Okay, yeah, people will get that reference.
No, nobody. Very few people would that mean, but it would be one name and it would sound. So that's a start, and then people who would actually get it be like, oh, I get it. So there.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's all I've got. I was gonna go on this train, but that's pretty much all I got, guys.
Okay. Spoken.
All right. Borderlands, which is we've talked for half an hour about that already.
Is that all?
I've been going through some old fanfics, rereading them. That Hyuga family series that I recommended a few months back, I've been rereading that because it's adorable. One of my old favorites is getting close to a conclusion, so I'll probably wreck that again once it's put out the final chapter. 7 Days to Die got an update, which I only noticed relatively recently. I'm not sure how long ago it came out, but I'm liking some of the changes that they made. It's a bit more stable than it was after the alpha update back last month. Oh, fun thing that I found out this morning. If you eat snowberries in 7 Days to Die, it screws you up, and it decreases your maximum health very slowly. If you take snowberries through a refining process and mix them in to water with blueberries, it turns into like a juice. It turns into a juice bottle, and it doesn't display that it will still fuck you up and decrease your maximum health over time.
Why would you ever have an item like that?
But on the other hand, they will help your frost resistance.
Exactly.
Oh, is that actually a thing it does? I thought I was just making a Skyrim reference.
No, seriously, like snowberries increase your internal temperature by 21% for like half an hour after you eat them. The problem is the whole time they're doing that, they're also slowly decreasing your maximum health and dealing you a constant low rate of damage.
So they're dealing you damage and decreasing your max health?
Yes.
Why does this exist?
Because they're also the most efficient warming item in the game. Like, you could stand in the middle of a snowstorm, buck-ass nude, and drink one of these berry colas, and you'd be dying, but you wouldn't be dying of frostbite.
I just hate anything that decreases your maximum health. Just makes me
the
so
thing
mad.
is, like, you have to eat and drink regularly, and practically everything except for just regular bottled water will slowly increase your maximum health.
Okay, so it's balanced. Good.
Yeah, and it's like you start at 100 health. Every time you die, you lose 10 maximum health, down to a minimum of, I think, 50, which you can increase by up to 25 points with a perk. That same perk increases the highest possible maximum you can get to up to 225.
Nice.
And if you're smart enough and lucky enough to get your hands on corn, potatoes, bottled water, and meat, then you can make meat stew, which attracts zombies from miles around, but it also increases your maximum health by up to 6 points every time you eat it. But yeah, I've been fortifying the farmhouse in the pre-gen map, growing goldenrod for days, because I just cannot be bothered half the time to boil the water before I drink it, because it's space inefficient to do that. For some reason, water you pulled directly from the stream, which is murky and can give you dysentery,
Fun.
stacks up to like 500 or 1,000 bottles in one inventory space. But once you boiled it, the maximum stack size is 15. That is so stupid.
You said dysentery. I immediately thought of trail.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Mm.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
everybody, let's go die of dysentery.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you don't die from dysentery, then don't dysentery.
fucking mic cable. All right. Like, I can understand it's a game balance perspective. I mean, if you have good water that can stack for 500 bottles, then that makes it really easy to always have water. And it shouldn't be
You're
that
always
easy.
gonna have water anyway. Like
It also
water-
makes it easy to always have dysentery.
like a single bottle of water restores 20% of your hydration. And if you're doing a lot of heat-intensive work like I am, because my house is out in the desert, you're going to be losing maybe 50% of that per day. So a single 15 stack is still going to last you most of a week.
Okay. So there's a problem because...
It's kind of pointless. Like, also, if you boil water in glass jars, it stacks to 15. If you boil water in a metal can, it doesn't stack.
Yeah, that's a little dumb. But it
Yeah.
might be a holdover from a previous version or something.
Well, to be fair, 7 Days to Die, despite being one of the best zombie
Complete,
games
right?
available on the Steam platform, is still technically an alpha build.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Alpha 16 currently.
Yeah. Like, I actually started playing it because I saw it in my update queue. And, so what have they updated? That? Oh, they, did bug fixes. Cool, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. So, anything else spoken?
Not really.
Okay. So, I guess that's an episode then. We need to
got
do...
one more thing.
Okay.
One
quick.
more thing!
Yes. I am sorry, guys. I haven't been updating forever. I've been focusing on other things. But I feel a wave coming on.
A
wave
wave?
of the future. A wave. Stay tuned.
There's a wave.
Yes.
I think I know what this is.
A tidal wave. Do you? Wait, I don't. Okay. No. I'm not gonna.
I almost got him.
Don't get me in trouble.
I don't understand.
He was alluding to Shinobi of the High Seas.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
if that was what I were going to update.
I almost got him to say something, but
So,
And it is.
can't
And
you
it may,
be saying
it may
is...
be. Don't make any goddamn guarantees. I'm gonna get in trouble. Stop.
So
Okay.
you're not gonna update?
he'll update what he wants, and
I'll
you'll
do
like
what I
it.
want, and you'll like it. Yeah.
Okay. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, I had to buy another monitor, so I'm going to be getting another monitor. That means I'll be able to, like, it's a really dumb thing, but the stand on mine is big and obtrusive, so I can't actually do camera framing properly. So that's why I had to buy a new monitor. So yeah, I'll hopefully get here before we start recording the next show that we're going to do for Zero Interest. Yay.
What's the next show?
Can't tell you. We'll reveal it on the thing. I'm even gonna do a special promo thing for it and everything.
Whatever.
Thanks, Kenchi. I know it's always nice to hear you care. You my boy.
You're welcome.
Recommendations?
I mean, I'm still reading the book that I mentioned earlier, so I'll get back to you with if I recommend it or not. For right now, I don't think I really have much.
You know what my answer is. Last week was an anomaly,
Yeah, it was. Weasel, you got any recommendations?
but it was a correct anomaly.
For once, nope, totally forgot to look one up.
Okay. I do. Y'all
Good for
motherfuckers.
you. Good for you. Fuck you. You know what I do. You know what I'm about.
Alright, so these are two that are from Space Battles, so prepare yourselves for that particular kind of
Very-
worms. Sorry?
Prepare your diddly holes.
So, first one is called If the Ring Fits. Guess what? It's a self insert with
Could it
the
possibly
ring.
be Young Justice?
Yeah, it's Young Justice.
No way.
Yeah.
I would have never assumed.
I mean, in fairness, it was already in the text chat by the time you said that, but whatever.
And I didn't see it until after I said that.
If you say so.
Screw you.
So, technically, it calls itself a Young Justice story, but in fairness, it only uses that as the baseline for the setting. So, what it is, basically the same setup as with this ring. Self-insert appears in space with a ring on his finger. Only in this case, it's a Black Lantern ring.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So it's basically just him for a while trying to make sure he stays alive, because obviously if it runs out of charge, he dies. In fact, he dies at the beginning of the story, because that's how Black Lantern ring works. It can only work on a zombie's finger, so he has to asphyxiate in space before he can use it. And then he's a
Sounds
zombie.
fun. Is this a
It's-
zombie?
This guy. Yeah, so he's a zombie for the entirety
And then
of the
John
fic.
was a zombie.
Okay, and basically it's a black comedy, pardon the pun, for the entire story. Of just him interacting with the world where he probably should be a supervillain, but isn't. And everyone just still kind of treats him as a disgusting abomination, and he fights mostly Hellblazer villains, like King Arthur and Merlin.
Is he bisexual like Hellblazer?
Is who?
The main character. If the
Uh,
ring fits.
don't think it's come up in particular. Yeah, so fights King Arthur and Merlin, who are possessing people, because that's a thing that happened in Hellblazer, I assume. And King Arthur possesses a tiger, but still has Excalibur, so he sort of swings it around like
Okay.
he's Sif from Dark Souls with a sword in his mouth.
So it's like Sif but Aslan.
Yeah, it's
Aslan is a lion.
yeah,
This is a
it's
tiger.
semantics. It's
Yeah, I
very
know.
silly, but fun in a very bleak kind of way. So
I meant Sif but Aslan is in now. Kind of sentient, sort of kingly, but like yeah.
and a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it seems to go out of its way to, make it very clear that the author has the opinion that John Constantine is kind of a cunt. Yeah. So,
Wait, Constantine?
John Constantine.
So I now have a recommendation.
Okay.
All right.
This is College Rule Pikario, the very old door thingy by the great Chicken Miasma. So this
Okay.
is a Mario, specifically Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door crossover with Pokemon, where all the different races of the Mario world are instead Pokemon. So Mario is a Pikachu, hence Pikario. Luigi is a Pichu named Chuigi, and Princess Peach is a Raichu named Princess Peach. It's completely parody, and it is hilarious.
Okay.
That sounds, you know what? I'm going to cut you off right there. That Raichu sounds appropriate for some reason. It just sounds like it fits. I don't know why.
Oh, normally in the Pikario series, yes, this is part of a whole series of Mario Pokemon parodies that Chicken Miasma has written. Normally she has the Goombas as Diglets, but in this case, Goombella is instead of Pikachu because, well, you'll see. It's a setup for a hilarious running joke.
I am, as somebody who, like, Thousand Year Door is one of my favorite games, I am very confused.
It is a hilarious parody with in-your-face humor. Okay, so the three dragons of the game are instead Salamances, and Gloomtail is instead Blacktail, and he fights with Ebonics.
What?
You heard it right, and he is defeated by this world's version of Flurry and Bobbery, who are immune to his Ebonics attacks because they have proper English.
What?
That sounds like a Paper Mario joke, to be honest.
What?
It does sound like a Paper Mario joke.
So the battles play out like Pokemon battles, but just like complete parodies of them. One enemy is defeated by being puked on.
To be fair, I'd probably lose the will to fight if my opponent just randomly vomited over me.
There's a Dragon Ball Abridged joke about that, but yeah.
And personal experience just makes me madder.
Also,
Wait, what?
Also,
Yeah.
Pikario is a complete and total asshole.
Okay.
So I do actually have a recommendation.
Do you?
Yes.
Wait, one more thing. Sorry.
Okay.
So remember remember the Blitz Pit, which in this fanfic is the Shits Pit.
Okay,
And
that's,
where Mario
that's
becomes
kind of
Great
hilarious,
Gonzalez.
but that also makes me sad.
where Mario goes under the fighting name the Great Gonzalez. And this, Grubba suggests Great Gonzalez, but Pikario decides, no, I want to be Crotch Killer. And so he is Crotch Killer.
Okay.
This kind
Don't
of humor
spoil the entire story.
Yeah, you don't have to spoil everything. But I'm not sure if this humor is my brand of juvenile.
I have a very mature sense of humor, so yeah.
So this is Forever and a Bit, and I actually got this from the Inspired by link to the now finished Naruto Pseudo Peggy Sue that it's inspired by. And it's basically Naruto and Gaara go back in time. They end up in like their 6-year-old selves, and they're trying to stop a bad future, which every Peggy Sue ever proceed as usual. The thing that I really like about this one is that Gaara's making an actual attempt at repairing his relationship with his family.
Aww.
Which,
Also, it's Yaoi.
Hmm?
Also, it's Yaoi.
Eventually,
the
yeah.
tags I'm saying, it looks like it's implied, but not really.
Yeah, it's going to be eventual yaoi probably, but so far it's adorable, and there's sand family bonding, and there's only been 3 chapters updated so far, but it's updating fairly frequently, and it's just so adorable, and you should totally read it.
Okay.
Sand people.
Those darn sand people running
with
around.
their damn wind techniques and their puppets.
And they're attacking Luke Skywalker.
And Anakin Skywalker. And
I killed
his
them
mom.
all, women, children.
Sad.
No,
So
it's the
coarse.
women and the children too. I hate them.
It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Damn it, Zero! I was gonna say that.
Prequels.
Fuck them.
No, they're great. The punchlines is fucking fantastic. I did have another recommendation before everyone suddenly decided they had recommendations. Well, kind of an anti-recommendation, actually.
Oh, link this.
It's not that kind of anti-recommendation. You know Magic the Gathering?
Yes.
You know how it's kind of slow and boring?
Yes.
This
But
is
you're bad
that
at
in
it.
story form. Yeah, basically self-insert gets Magic the Gathering powers from... I think it's the Halloween episode from Buffy where people are turned into their costumes. It's that kind of thing. So he turns into a planeswalker who decides to skedaddle out of the universe, and
That an in-universe event turned him into a planeswalker.
yeah. To explain, in the Buffy episode, there is a ritual invoking the god of chaos to turn people into their Halloween costumes for the night.
Mm.
This is very, very commonly used as a crossover excuse.
This is okay. That would work for pretty much anything except planeswalkers, which are explicitly beyond the powers of the gods.
It's an
That is-
excuse plot. Roll with it.
My
So-
nerd brain will not allow me to roll with it. This is stupid.
Okay. So he pops out of the universe and turns back to the SI because that's how the spell works.
Mm.
And then he gets approached by Mr. Mixes Pitlick. It's really hard to say that with the echo. From DC, the Superman villain. So he, because I don't want to say his name again, lobotomizes the character and dumps him back in the DC universe. And then it's basically an incredibly long and boring game of Magic the Gathering in real life, kind of. And oh god, is it long and boring.
Like,
According to this word count, it is 120,000 words.
Yep.
yeesh.
Would you like to know how much of that is spent on the writer trying desperately not to have a plot?
I'm guessing about 118,000 words of it.
About 100,000 words, in fairness. Like, in the last 2 chapters, it almost starts to have a plot.
It was last
Oh,
updated 8 months ago. So
There it is. It's 100,000 words of blue balls, and finally a taste of relief, and
Why did
gone.
you read it?
I mean, to be fair, the guy went like 8 months between writing for previous chapters as well. So,
Like,
I mean, it's
the
not
thing
bad. It's just the author has commitment issues, presumably, or something.
like, if you're gonna compare it to a Magic the Gathering style game, the game's supposed to be like in 4 turns you win if you're a professional. But like, anyways, I was just talking Magic with some people I know in my group who are really big fans of it. Anyways, but this sounds like why? I just want to know, why would you read this?
I read it because someone in another thread for, I think it was DC crossovers, I can't remember which one it was, but someone, I think it was in Assimilation, which is another Young Justice crossover that I recommended before.
I love that. I followed that, and started keeping up with it, and I love it, and thank you.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Grey Goo.
Yeah. Someone asked for recommendations for other DC crossovers, and I recommended The Usual Suspects with This Ring, Subtle Knife, Judicial Misadventures, yay.
I kind of soured on that one.
Yeah, it's not great.
I like the early stuff, and I like the whole tell the backstory through implication thing, and how it got gradually explained, but after the kidnapping bit, it just kind of got meh.
It's all very meandering after that point, yes. Someone else recommended after that, said, hey, you missed these. So I saw the Black Lantern one, and that's okay. Read that. Fantastic. Then I read this one, and I regret it, frankly. I wish I hadn't read it, because it was just so much time wasted.
Oh, was it Young Justice SIs, or was it Lantern SIs?
I think it was Young Justice SIs.
Oh, I was gonna say if it was Lantern SIs, then In Blackest Night.
There is so much metaphysical bullshittery in that, it's become kind of incomprehensible. I have no idea what was going on in that story.
I can't explain it, but I can't think of the words right now. I've got a write-up somewhere that I did when I tried to explain it to someone through text a couple of months ago.
Jesus. Okay.
It's kind of like what would happen if you took the whole Ophidian merging thing from With This Ring, and instead of turning it up to 11, turned it up to about 300.
Yeah. That's kind of my point. Yep. So,
I can't believe that the freaking Halloween costume thing was the crux of how that story happened. Like,
yep. It's
you mentioned Buffy. I'm pretty sure they got that from Halloween Town 2.
From what?
Halloween Town 2, Disney.
the mainstream Disney movie.
When was that released?
Halloween Town 2. That's an old movie.
It's like probably close to 20 years ago.
That was 2001.
Yeah, that episode of Buffy was in 1998, I believe.
Yeah, but I feel like more people saw freaking Halloween Town 2 running every Halloween on Disney.
Why do you feel that way?
I have never heard of this film before now.
You're not American.
I'm American and I've never heard of it. I know about regular Halloween Town. But then again, I was
this is so bad. That's the whole point where they're like, now you are all your Halloween mess. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But then you realize that was stolen from Buffy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's just...
It was done pretty well in Buffy, too. Like, it was a really well-liked episode.
Oh, it was trash. It was trash.
Hold on. If that were a thing, what would you have been judging by your last Halloween costume? That it actually happened last time you wore a Halloween costume.
Okay, I'm going to stay out of this one because I have not so great memories of Halloween. I tried trick-or-treating once and then I never did
anyway, anything
Honestly,
else?
Most of my Halloween costumes when I was younger were either like Power Rangers or Jedi. So
because I would have been a Shaolin monk.
I'm pretty sure I would have been. I did go 1 year as Batman. I might have ended up as Batman.
So Kenshi would have come out of this with memories of self-flagellation, so that should be...
Yeah, Fandom Flux is self-flagellating.
Oh, Christ.
That's not the title. That's not the title. That's not the title.
Refuge and Audacity.
Keep it clean on YouTube.
I have no idea what I'm going to call this episode. All right, so I mean, I think YouTube would have a problem with me calling it "Fandom Flux Won't Shut the Fuck Up About Borderlands." So
Yeah, you talking about Borderlands for a long time, and I just kind of spaced out.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. This episode's gone for about an hour and a half, so we should probably close it out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, my phone's going off. It needs to be charged, and it's getting annoying because it keeps beeping to remind me it needs to be charged.
Okay, go. Bye-bye. Everybody,
So-
bye-bye. Let's go. Bye-bye.
I'd like to thank everybody listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 188. If you would like to get in contact with us, use us through the YouTube channel in the comments. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Sorry about that. Once again, I've completely lost track of what I was doing. What was I doing?
Thank you for watching. We'll see you all next time.
I feel like I wasn't about to say that. That doesn't sound like anything like
Goodbye,
the thing I usually
everybody.
say.
Goodbye. Leave us alone. Go live
Thank-
your life. Go
thanks,
outside.
Thanks, Christopher Sabat.
You're welcome.
That's really not Chris Sabat. That's
It's
That's
not.
once
no.
again, Zero. That's fucking Ryan Haywood is the impression you're doing there.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with any of these names.
Shout
I think
you
it's just
for
me.
me.
What?
See, he won't do it now. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good time. See you later.